Hello, everyone, and welcome to the All Four Downs podcast. I'm Ovi One. We're alive a little bit late than usual, but I'm here still gathering of everything that's happened in my picks this past weekend, and I just can't believe that I went 8-0, and I didn't realize I've made 8 picks, and I always thought that it was 6-0, 7-0, but no, 8, and I can't wait to share my victory with all of you, and hopefully this week will be very, very lucky. And also, a lot of updating, breaking news, and stuff like that happened today. I'll cover that briefly, and then we'll get set for our predictions this weekend. So let's go ahead and start off with first down, right? Recap of what happened this past weekend. Same slides, same everything that I have here. Michigan defeated Nebraska on point there. 30-27 was the final score. So if you cover with the spread, man, you want some money this past weekend. Also, Texas Tech beat Utah, and that final score was 34-10, and Utah was favoring in this game. So Texas Tech, man, I think they're the real deal, man. I really do. Oklahoma defeating Auburn, and that final score was 24-17. They covered the spread. Ole Miss took care of business with Tulane. 11.5 was the spread, but hey, they won a much, much more. Miami defeating Florida 26-7, covering that spread as well. Indiana upsets Illinois. And then I have to question, was that really an upset? Because you had Indiana that played in the college football playoffs last year, ranked number 19. Illinois, yeah, they got a bold victory. But there was some things that was left to question. And it was answered. Illinois were the pretenders, and they will continue to be pretenders as I cover this week's prediction. Well, for Indiana, man, that final score was 63-10. It was a 5.5 spread. I'll say again, 63-10. What were we thinking? What is the AP poll thinking of ranking Illinois as the top 10 team? That's embarrassing. USC take care of business against Michigan State. That's probably one of the last games, the late game. So you want to catch that game at 11 o'clock at night. You was in for a treat. But USC did get the victory, 45-31, but did not cover on the spread. Did not cover, no. But if you picked over 56.5, yeah, you would have won some money there. Oh yeah. And then the rivalry between SMU and TCU, I was on point and choosing TCU straight up. But that final score was 35-24. They also covered the spread. So it's pretty unique of this past weekend. And let me see if I give you some good luck charms for this week coming up. All right, so we're going to get ready for second down. Here are my top 10. Georgia still is not my number one, and they have a big battle this weekend as they take on Alabama. So for me, I have a number one versus number 9. But for according to the AP and coaches poll, they don't even have Alabama in the top 10. So, but with Georgia at number 5 in the AP and coaches poll, they have number 3. Well, there's a dilemma there between those two, right? So we'll see, because I got a feeling that after this weekend, things are going to start clearing up as to who are the real contenders here. I'm still favoring at Florida State being at number 2. Penn State dropped in the AP polls at number 3 thanks to Miami's awesomeness, right, with Carson Beck. Even though that game was a little suspect for Miami, a lot of mistakes and accuracy from Carson Beck, but other than that, they're still winning the games. But for Penn State, they're going to be taking on Oregon, and I just can't wait to see the outcome of that game. And I'll give you my predictions very, very soon. Ole Miss is playing great, great football, and I'm just surprised that no one's have them in the top 10. They really do belong there. I'm not sold on Ohio State at number 1 yet. I know that they're always favored in the top two every single season. But man, like again, Texas, they're gonna start going into their SEC schedule, and I gotta see if Texas is gonna finish strong because technically Ohio State and Texas is the the only resume that has value. And if Texas finished strong, then we could give credit to Ohio State defeating them in week one. But I'm like I said, I'm not sold yet. I need to see more of Ohio State. And in Missouri at number 10 for me, I'm again, they're winning their games. I'm just scratching my head as to why they're not in the top 10. But everyone else is. Let's see. Let's see. Out of the top 10, who are the strongest? My pick right now still goes with Oklahoma and Florida State, but all that could still change. Let's move on to third down. Updated news. Gundy is out at Oklahoma State University. And I'm looking at his resume and I'm just surprised that he didn't win more with that school because he had 18 winning seasons. And then in the last two seasons, he went 4-11. And with all the discrepancies and everything else that's happened, doesn't matter. He out of the whole entire time between 2005 and 2025, that's a 20 years, 20 years being the head coach of Oklahoma State. And he only has won one Big 12 championship. Wow. He was coach of the year 3 times for the Big 12. He's been division winner. That's cool. But you only have one Big 12 championship. So my guess is, I mean, look, Gundy's the Oklahoma State Hall of Famer within that school, but does he deserve to be in a Hall of Fame and in the NCAA college football? I don't know. Overall, he's won 70 and 90, won 12 bowl games. I mean, how do we compare him with others? I think it's a far comparison, but I don't know. That's something that I was very, very surprised of so long being in one school and yet didn't accomplish really a lot. Yeah, winning seasons is good, but no trophies to go along with that longevity. Oklahoma quarterback John Matier, I think that's how you say his name. Matier is undergoing hand surgery. He is out for 3 to 4 weeks, possibly back just before the last game of the season. But if I was to be careful, and hopefully Oklahoma will still be in contention, I would save him for the college football playoffs because it more likely looks like Oklahoma could clinch their way in. I mean, it's got to be drastic. However, he was also favorite of the Heisman. Now that he is out, people are predicting Fernando Mendoza from Indiana, Carson Beck from Miami, and Dante Moore from Oregon. If I was the betting man, I'm still going with my gut, and I'm picking Carson Beck to win. I mean, if you look at him, I mean, this guy is phenomenal as a quarterback. And I've seen Mendoza, but I'm not basing that game only with Illinois. I gotta see more of him. I can't wait. Maybe I get to see Indiana and Ohio State. Is that happening this year? I don't know. I want them to go against like top 10 teams and see how they clash because it takes a lot, to be honest with you. Carson Beck, he's already proven himself. He's been in championship games and stuff like that. He's on a rebound after injury last year to start fresh with a new team and trying to put himself as a first round pick in the NFL. That's exactly what he's doing. All right, moving on to fourth down. Here we go. I'm going for my picks. You can take it or leave it. I don't know. But in the last 2 weeks, I'm 14-0. That's incredible. Incredible. Can I do it again? Can we do it again? Leave your comments. And I know a lot of you are hating with my top 25, but You got to put that respect into these picks, man. I'm loving it. All right, here we go. Let's start off with the game of the week. Alabama visits Georgia. Now, I got plenty to share here, man. Kirby Smart is going to have this team ready. I mean, it was like you got a knife in the ribs or something. They hurt because last year in Alabama, Georgia was down 28-0. 28-0 in the second quarter. And then Georgia started coming back. They came back in the fourth quarter to take the lead 34-33. But a mishap, a 75-yard touchdown pass from John Milroe, who is now currently in the NFL. And Alabama ended up winning 41-34. In the last 10 games, Alabama has won 9 of them. And the last time Georgia won against Alabama in Georgia was in 2003. Wow. That's a long time. Georgia's favored by 3.5. I do agree that they could win more, and therefore I am choosing Georgia to defeat Alabama. Absolutely. Moving on to the next game, USC versus Illinois. This is USC's early game. Now, you know USC's used to playing that late in the Saturday, 11 o'clock at night and stuff. Now, this is a actually early game. Could this be beneficial for Illinois? Well, right now, USC's favorite 6.5. And the last time USC defeated Illinois was back in 2008 in the Rose Bowl. And their overall record against Illinois is 11-2. Currently, USC is 4-0, 2-0 in the Big Ten. Illinois suffering the loss 63-10 to Indiana. You put that in perspective, I just no doubt, and I'm going for USC. I won't be surprised if it's over 60.5. I think I'll be safe to choose that 60 over. I'll do that. But I definitely do believe USC will win and take down Illinois. And quite frankly, I don't even know why Illinois is in the top 25 after losing 63-10. You think that's top 25 deserving? Man, you need to put them away. LSU versus Ole Miss. Ole Miss is actually favored by 1.5, but many believe that LSU is the next team to win the championship. I'm going to slow down those comments right now because I do pick an upset. Ole Miss will take care of LSU. You can mark it. Yes, I love Ole Miss. And if you look at my top 25 rankings, I have them at number 5. So therefore, Ole Miss will defeat LSU this weekend. Oregon versus Penn State. Okay, y'all paying attention. Penn State is not even in my top 10. All right. What's going on? And I know that I've received a lot of comments about Penn State. You don't have Penn State on there, blah, 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 blah. And there's some other teams I don't have on top. Well, this is it. And I'm going to have to prove it to you why I don't have Penn State as number 2. I got to prove it. And this is the game. And I've had Oregon ranked number 1 during my preseason. Yeah, they slipped down based on their performance and everything else. But hey, both teams are undefeated. Both teams are ranked. But only one team is going to shine, and that is Oregon. Oregon will beat Penn State. And this is a 7:30 p.m. game. So they're trying to whiten the stadium, but it's only going to be green running up and down the field. And therefore, Oregon will take care of business, upset Penn State. And Penn State is who they are. The Nittany Lions that can't win the biggest games. And I still feel like they got lucky last year, but that's another story. But yeah, mark it. Penn State favorite at 3.5. That's like an automatic bid just being at home. Therefore, I'm taking Oregon. Next game, Ohio State and Washington. Ohio State's the number 1 team, right? And their favorite 8.5. Can they cover the spread? We'll see. Coming from a bye week, going against Washington. Both teams are 3-0. It just adds that to the resume. I am really surprised that Washington's not ranked in the top 25 just to give a resume for Ohio State. I am really surprised. But this game is going all the way to Seattle. It's going to be a nice temperature. And I still think that Ohio State is going to take care of business. Arizona versus Iowa State is another good game. Um, I believe that people are seeing Arizona as underrated. I really do. I think that they're underrated. They deserve to be in the top 25, and they're going to pull this upset and take care of Iowa State. Call me crazy. I know. I know. I think this one is going to be fantastic. Maybe this game might be slightly under 49 points, give or take, but I'm just going to be straight up money line and just take Arizona since it's going to worth more on my ticket. So there you have it. Final whistle. Man, there's so much going on in college football. Coaches are being replaced. We finally got the third one out of the way, Gundy. I think it's about time. And with everything going on, a lot of changes and everything else, and people just can't adapt to new changes. They can't adapt. And therefore, for Gundy, I hope that he should be all right. I'm not really worried about coaches getting fired and stuff like that because there's still compensation coming into their pocket. I'm not worried about that. But how many more coaches in this season are going to step down? Will Clemson do that? Or there others step down? Because it's new era. It's the NIL era. It's all about the players, payments, giving out money. That's where it's headed to. At least it is now. I don't know what more upgrades can they do. The transfer portal is live. The transfer portal is pretty much at a ease right now because they're going to make those changes. A lot of coaches are talking about how it's unfair to open up a portal during the playoffs. I know. I agree. But for coaches not taking advantage of the transfer portal, coaches that are in organizations that they don't support you and making deals, monies in coherence with the NIL, just not going to succeed. And Gundy felt it. That's why he has a losing record for the last two seasons. And it's gonna be all right. Oklahoma's gonna be okay, or should I say Oklahoma State? My bad. But for everyone else, it is what it is. This is college football. The new era, it's here. And we have to face it. And it's just another stress environment for these coaches to stay on top of their game to be contenders. And that's all I have. So thank you very much for tuning in to the All Four Downs podcast. I'll be back this weekend to give you my updated top 25 and see what else is happening. I will start the brackets for the playoffs and see some dream matches that might happen before the college football committee starts in the first week of November. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Until next time, take care everyone. Enjoy your football.